Covert Operations Clone Troopers were an elite group of clone troopers who served in the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars. These clones were primarily assigned to do the dirty work of the Republic that most other clones would refuse and find unethical. The main task that these clone troopers were assigned to was to find and assassinate clone troopers who deserted the Grand Army of the Republic. So, who were the Covert Operations Clone Troopers and who did they report to? I'm going to break down exactly who the Covert Operations Clone Troopers were and the very unethical missions that they were assigned to. So before we get into it, remember to subscribe for more awesome Star Wars lore content, and also remember to check out the join button, which was just activated on the channel, for some awesome perks and a cool Palpatine badge. The Covert Operations Clone Troopers were regular troopers who were selected from the standard clone squads on Kamino. The Kaminoans looked for specific clones who showed that they had the potential to do dirty work and were not worried about performing immoral actions like assassinations, kidnappings, and torture. Yeah, these guys were the craziest clones. When chosen for the role, however, they were not informed that some of their missions and tasks would include assassinating their own brothers. Grand Army of the Republic deserters who had left the service of the Republic to live their own independent lives would be placed on a hit list, which would then be handed to the Covert Operations Troopers so that they could hunt down and execute every single member on the deserters list. Chilling stuff. Let me know down below if you think it was right or wrong for the Republic to send clones to assassinate their own brothers. Once chosen for the Covert Operations program, the clones would be trained by Null Arcs N10 and N5 in commando tactics and go through one of the most intense and rigorous training programs in the Grand Army of the Republic. After leaving the training program, the Covert Ops clones would be ready to do anything that the Grand Army of the Republic would ask of them, including some of the dodgiest and most questionable jobs. Covert Operations Clone Troopers served in squads of up to 3 men, often being placed in groups where each of their skills could be used in combination to obtain effective results on their covert missions. All covert clones had the option to pick between a standard DC-15S Carbine Blaster, and for those who preferred a heavier option, the DC-15A Blaster. The armor of the Covert Operations clones was also coated with a specialized substance known as Reflect, which was a very advanced material that allows light to warp around it and to stop sensors from being able to detect it. The material was a light pink color and made it very difficult for scanners and radar to detect these clones as they were dropped into their target locations, allowing them to perform incredibly stealthy missions. The Covert Ops Trooper program was one of the most secretive in the entire Grand Army of the Republic, with their activities being kept secret from both the public and military records. Unlike other elite clone troopers such as the ARC Troopers or Clone Commandos, the Covert Operations Squads were not part of the official Republic Special Forces. The Republic Special Forces Brigade contained units like the Munilist 10, Delta Squad, Omega Squad, and the Ion Team, but purposely did not include the Covert Operations Troopers in order to maintain their secrecy. It's also very likely that the other clones within the Special Operations units would be very upset to realize that they were working with men whose job it is to hunt down and assassinate their own brothers. The Republic Director of the Special Forces even denied that the Covert Operations Troopers existed at all, claiming that they were just a separatist myth created to sow distrust and chaos within the Republic. Because of this, the Covert Operations teams reported directly to the Supreme Chancellor for a long time. And I'm joined by a true expert on all things clones, Woof Woof Woof, to tell the sad story of one Covert Clone Trooper operation.
The most well-known operation that was conducted by the Covert Clone Troopers was on the planet Gaftakar, when Clone Troopers Maz and Alin were sent to assassinate ARC Trooper A30, nicknamed Sol, after he had deserted the Grand Army of the Republic to live a life of his own on the planet. Unfortunately for these two Covert Operations Troopers, the mission went horribly wrong. The two clones were hiding out at the home of ARC Trooper Sol, waiting for his return so they could stealthily assassinate him and leave the planet without being noticed. Unfortunately, however, Darman of the Omega Squad was also searching for Sol at the time, and happened to enter his house, where the two Covert Operations Troopers fired on him. This led to Darman killing both Covert clones, purely to defend himself. Once the other clones began to hear about the situation and discover the true purpose of the Covert Ops clones, they became extremely disturbed, realizing that the Republic was sending assassins to kill its own men.
So those are the most secretive and covert clones in the galaxy. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit the subscribe button down below and check out the join button if you'd like to further support the channel. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.